Slav defense, modern, Alapin variation, Czech, Krause, Carlsbad, Morozevich variation. Balanced, neither player ever had an advantage. That game was pretty competitive. Both players had an amazing opening. That was an incredible middle game by both players. The reti is a less common but flexible opening that controls the center with the knight before committing a pawn. d5 occupies the center and controls the e4 and c4 squares. The d4 square controls the e5 and c5 squares and establishes a solid center. This develops a knight from its starting square, activating it. c4 gains space on the queen side, prepares to develop the knight to c3, and invites black to give up control of the e4 square after dx c4. When c6 is played, the d5 pawn is supported and the queen can grow on the queen side. And c3 attacks the d5 square and starts to fight for the e4 square. dx c4 captures the c4 pawn and opens up the center. a4 stops the b7 b5 advance, which would have allowed black to keep the c4 pawn. bf5 develops the bishop and controls the e4 square. ne5 places the knight on an active center square where it attacks the c4 pawn and the f7 pawn. nbd7 develops the knight toward the center, attacks the knight on e5 and defends the knight on f6. nxc4 captures the c4 pawn and places the knight on an active square where it controls the e5, d6, and b6 squares. qc7 develops the queen, stops bf4 ideas from white and controls the e5 square. In order to dominate the center from the long diagonal, g3 is getting ready to fianchetto the light-squared bishop to g2. e5 takes space in the center, attacks the d4 pawn and allows the dark-squared bishop to develop. dx e5 captures the e5 pawn and attacks the knight on f6. nx e5 captures the e5 pawn and attacks the knight on c4. bf4 develops the bishop toward the center and pins the knight to the queen. nfd7 defends the pinned knight on e5. A fianchetto move, bg2 positions the bishop on the long diagonal. g5 attacks the white bishop to unpin the black knight on e5. This wins time by threatening a bishop and forcing it to move away. After all captures, this is an equal trade. This is the only move that works. This is an equal trade. This is the only good move. Castling gets the king to a safer square, out of the center of the board, while also developing a rook. Castling queenside tends to be more active because the rook is closer to the center. This threatens to reveal an attack on a queen. This activates a queen by developing it off of its starting square. This threatens to kick a knight. This prevents the opponent from being able to reveal an attack on a queen. This allows the knight to control more squares. The rooks can see each other now, allowing them to provide mutual defense. This threatens to kick a knight. This is an equal trade. Takes back. This threatens to kick a knight. This stops the opponent from being able to kick a knight. It is the last book move. This puts the opposing rook in a position to lose control of the open file. It is ideal. While not a mistake, that is also not the wisest course of action. That's good. There were worse moves, but also something much better. It is an inaccuracy. The best choice is this one. It is ideal. Among the best actions. It is quite good. Perfectly on point. It is ideal. This offers an equal trade of pieces. It is good. This requires an outpost, a square that is currently in play where a pawn cannot push the bishop off the board. It is ideal. This keeps the material balance in check with good commerce. That's good. It is a fair deal after all captures. It is ideal. This moves the knight to safety. It is good. Balanced, neither player ever had an advantage. That game was pretty competitive. Both players had an amazing opening. That was an incredible middle game by both players.